Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are here with, well, this vessel, it's been a long time since you people have last seen this video. This vessel was, well, quite a number of streams ago. This is the Arm 1 attached to Asteroid. Let me get the name right. It is OMC 347, and this has been in orbit about the moon, well, for quite some time. And the plan today is going to be to begin. Eventually, I want to have a whole station kind of attached to this asteroid, similar in function to Minmus station, where I can attach ships and landers and get down to the surface, eventually have a moon base and start harvesting more of the science and perhaps actual real harvesting resources as well off of the moon. But we need to do some things with this asteroid. Basically, I got this here. I did bring some Kerbals out here once when we did an asteroid sample, and then basically it sat here the whole time, and it is in a pretty wacky orbit here. You can see it's fairly inclined. Not only is inclined, if you take a look at the inclination is 162 degrees. It is a retrograde orbit. It's going around backwards. What I want to do is put this thing into a polar orbit. A polar orbit for a station about Minmus or the moon or whatever is really handy because you can put a lander on it, and eventually, as the moon rotates, every spot on the moon will go under the orbit, and you can land in whatever biome you want to land in. You just got to wait for the appropriate landing zone to rotate underneath your orbit. But with 508 meters per second left in this vehicle, it doesn't quite have the delta V, I think, to make a good plane change. But we are going to do some things with it. What I want to do is, if I take a look at my science archive, this is coming from Kerbalism, and I take a look at asteroid sample, I got an asteroid sample in space low. For some reason, I only got half of it. I'm not exactly sure what that's about. But if I just take this asteroid and move it into space high, I can do another asteroid sample and collect some more science that way. And right now this thing is in, what is it, about a 50 by 50 orbit. And the moon, high space, is at 60 kilometers. And actually that reminds me, I wanted to show a mod that got mentioned to me over the weekend on the Discord. It got mentioned. And it's called Planet Info Plus. If I, like for instance here, I'm on map view and I'm in the moon, and when you're in map view or whether you're in the tracking station, you get this little info button. This info button is stock. But if I focus this on the moon and click on info, it's telling me information about the moon, but underneath here it tells me information about the orbit, physical parameters about the moon. We have physical characteristic, atmosphere, and then gameplay. And if I start to open these up, there are things here that are not in stock. I can't remember which ones here are stock and which ones here are not. But I know, for instance, SOI, the height of the SOI, I don't think is stock. The max elevation, which is also always handy to know, is not stock. If I go over to the gameplay tab here, it's telling me that I've explored 5 out of the 17 biomes on the moon. That's not stock. It's telling me to get from near space to far space, the boundary line is 60 kilometers. That's not stock. This is all being provided by this Planetary Info Plus mod, and I really like the way they integrated it into the stock tools. And by the way, this information is customizable. If I open up my settings here and just go to I'm not going to adjust too much, but under here, Planetary Info Plus, you can toggle on and off a whole variety of different ones. So I toggled on the ones that, for me personally, I find useful. I think this is really great because I spend a lot of time on the KSP Wiki looking up bodies in Kerbal Space Program to get information like, let's resume the flight, like, what is their, GM, which is that universal gravitational parameter, and numbers like this, their rotation periods and their orbital periods and things like that. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy and we're going to push him up to just over 60 kilometers, and then we're going to get started on some other things. So I'm just going to lock this onto prograde. It's spinning itself around very slowly. We're going to have to bring up some more fuel for this so we can push this into a polar orbit. That's the eventual plan. I wish I was thinking about it a little bit more thoroughly before I just kind of left it in whatever orbit it's in. But we'll get to it. Alright. And is the engine active? The engine is active. So once this is locked prograde, we'll just do it. Alright, and this isn't going to be too much. Like, we're already at apoapsis of 51 kilometers, so we're just going to push it up ever so slightly. I must have my thrust limiter way down. There we go, 61 kilometers. Oh no, I just don't have a lot of thrust. Okay, and let's get up there to prograde. Actually, make sure that solar panel is okay. I'm just going to roll this a little bit. That should be good. Get up there to apoapsis, like barely. But then when I get some scientists here, we'll get some more science. It does not tell you what biomes you have completed, Eric is asking in the chat. That it just tells you how many you have done. And we are about a minute from apoapsis. We'll spin this around prograde once again. And while this is getting itself there, I'm going to take this opportunity to welcome, or first of all, thank my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who help to support this channel. And in particular, I want to thank my two newest members who joined in the last week, Jelly Be Good and Eric Nilsson. Thank you very much. Your support is greatly appreciated. I'm being asked what would be a safe orbiting distance for the moon. Well, that's what, if I go over to here, sorry, to map view, asked in the chat, the maximum elevation is just over 7 kilometers. So if you are above that, then you're not going to hit anything as you orbit. I would probably not cut it quite that fine. That's just me. Okay, let's push this a little bit further. So again, just burning a little bit. You can see a little bit of the exhaust there. Again, just putting it in high space. And then at some point in the future, we'll get this into a polar orbit at some point. I'm just going to, can tell right away I'm rolling it the wrong way. Again, I'm thinking there's only this one itty bitty solar panel on this. I'm not quite sure why. I was so skimpy with the solar panel, so I just want to roll this a little bit more so that when this thing is on the light side, that solar panel, the last thing I want is for this thing to be running out of electric charge on me. Alright, that's looking pretty decent. Quick time warp just to sort of freeze it there. Okay, but I do have, people probably remember from last week, I do have still some Kerbals in space that are due to come back down. They are at the Minmus Gateway, which is in low orbit about Kerbin. So we're going to go down, we're going to go to that. We're going to get those Kerbals down to the surface. And then we'll get going with our mission to that asteroid. Yeah, a 10-kilometer orbit about the moon works pretty well, I think. Oh dear. Nice black sky again. Here we are. Okay, let's time warp so we have some daylight. There we go. So this is a crew of 4 here. Michael, Bill, Hector, and Legee, who have been returning from Minmus. They were our last Kerbals to finish off landing in the last of the biomes about Minmus. I'm going to shut down this engine. They just got to get down to the surface, so we're going to transfer them. I believe they're just sitting still in here. Yep. Transfer them over to our little... What did I think I called this thing the Puff 2, if I'm not mistaken, but our little space plane here. The other thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to get another crew up to head towards that asteroid around the moon, I'm going to take another shot at flying my SSTO. I haven't flown it for a few streams. The last time I flew it, it kind of didn't go very well. So I think everybody is in here. Now I want to check, make sure they're about to go into the atmosphere. Let's get rid of this. I want to make sure they got parachutes. So inventory. Okay, they got too much stuff here. Let's see. And then here are these two guys. So there's this. Let's put the repair kits. Do I have an actual storage? Oh, here are storage containers right here on the outside of this. That's a good spot for them. Put these repair kits away. No reason. Oh, it's too much volume. One of these other ones. Oh, that one's full. Never realized I brought up so much stuff. Okay, maybe in here? What's in here for inventory? More parachutes. Okay, we'll put a parachute over here. Repair kits come this way. Parachute this way. Whatever these are, probably struts. But noticing the pictures for the struts sometimes disappear. Okay, and okay, so these two have parachutes. Let's open up here. Where are they? Michael and Bill. Michael needs a parachute. Inventory, what's in here? More? How do we have so many parachutes? I have 5 parachutes. Okay, fine. We're going to bring down the extra parachutes. No idea why we got so many parachutes. Alright, and open up TAC Fuel Balancer. Do a little bit of resource, making sure they're okay for stuff. Like food. Which, so many contain. Here it is. They are this. So they got 80% full food supply, so that'll be fine. Liquid fuel they don't use. Nitrogen. Again, they got a ton of nitrogen. Oxygen. They're at 86% of their oxygen supply. Monopropellant. This is ship number 5. They're at, oh my god, 100%? Wow. They just don't need that. What if I started pumping some of this out? Yeah, we'll pump it all out. Yep, fine. Okay. I just filled up all the rest of the monopropellants. They don't need that much. They're just coming down to the surface. They do use it for propellant, like main propellant for the main engines, but they don't need that much. Solid fuel, waste atmosphere, water. Just don't want to... Okay, they're at 72% of their water. They're all fine. Okay. So they're ready to come down. And science! Can't forget science. Transfer data here. We'll just make sure that their science is where we want it to be. They got precious surface samples coming down from the surface of Minmus. They are all in here. Goody good good. People were mentioning before, when I was having trouble carrying all the science, that I should upgrade the capacity. I went and checked in the VAB, and actually the capacity of this vessel had already been upgraded sometime in the past. That one that was skimpy must have been a really, really old one. Okay, so let's get it down to the surface. Where are we at here? So we are going here to... Okay, we're going to again time warp for no other purpose than to land in the daylight. So I don't like landing at night. You can see my 2 stations going round and round. You know, I'm realizing both these 2 stations are at very similar altitudes of about 120 kilometers, but different inclinations, which means their orbits do cross. And they're going to be they have the potential to meet each other at speed. Now, I think in Kerbal Space Program, that's not a really big deal. But I think in real life, you would never do this. Like, this is just asking for a disaster right here. But anyway, we're in Kerbal Space Program, not real life. So let's get to, I'm going to do my descent burn starting about here. So we'll get ourselves about half an orbit. Oh, we're already past half an orbit. Okay, let's detach and go. Let's detach and go. So undock. And RCS, if we control from here, it should be just an N to back away. Yep. Is it? No, it's 5, I think. No. I forget my own action groups. Where's the action group editor? What's the action group that gets... It's 1. Okay, fine. The only reason I want to use an action group because it also toggles off these blinky lights. In fact, they just turned them on. Oh my gosh. I get complaints about too many blinky lights. I don't know about other people. I like blinky lights, but some people seem to not like my blinky lights. Okay. I think I just turned them off and on again. Lights off. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do toggle on the torque. Control. Toggle torque. Point it prograde. How on earth? Oh, because I'm still controlling from the... I'll get this eventually. Control from here. There we go. And again, this is just going to be our avoidance maneuver. I'm just going to use RCS, push up our apoapsis just a little bit. That should be enough. We'll roll this so it looks good. And in that way, we'll be going, the station will end up being behind us so that when we go to do our retrograde burn, everything is good. Oh no, the station will be ahead of us. Sorry. Where is my download? Burning prograde slows you down. The lovely counterintuitiveness of orbital mechanics. Alright, there we go. Oh. And we'll put this on retrograde. And turn on TAC fuel balancer. We're going to target the KSC. We're going right for the runway. Our descent profile is going to be a forward prograde orientation. 45, I don't know, 30. I always guess at these numbers. Doesn't make a huge difference. Put 19, sure, why not? There we go. Keep that info up there because it's really useful. Is it on? Nope, show trajectory. Okay. And I don't think I have my engines on. And it's going to be interesting to click on them. That's one. Activate the engine. Activate the engine. Okay. We'll watch from out here. So the KSC is right here by this waypoint. Maybe I should explain the waypoint in just a second. Might get rid of it actually. Oh, you know what I forgot to think about? Oh dear. We'll see how this goes. I forgot to realize I'm in an inclined orbit. I should have time warped to the point where the KSC was underneath my orbit. So we're going to end up coming significantly north of the KSC. I do not know if I have the... Well, you know what? We got a lot of fuel. I can burn that way. We can do this. I was about to say, I don't know if it has the cross-range capability to do that in Atmo. But we're going to do this just this way. We're just going to burn. Oh, I should have waited until the KSC was under my orbit. So we'll go this way. We don't need this fuel once we're... So this is pretty expensive doing this, but... Oh well. Oh, I'm seeing in the chat, time to test the cross range. I don't think this thing has the cross range, so I'm cheating it. We have a lot of extra fuel. We might. We're gonna run out. You know what? Let's go retrograde. Let's not take all the fuel out. And anti-normal again. I'll use up the rest of this fuel. We have 15 meters per second of monopropellant left, and then this thing will be empty. We should be able to. We can make up this gap. Oh yeah, easy. Here, that's good enough. All right. I don't like this blackness, but as soon as the sun comes up, it'll disappear. There we go. Oh, we're in the atmosphere. Let's get ourselves ready. Put it onto here. Change the view to free. Find that works best. Okay, we're good. We're good. You can see the little red circle here that Trajectories is putting on here is telling me I'm coming towards the north, so I'm going to... Actually, I think I need to come this way. To pull that red circle this way. Yeah. So we're just gonna come at a bit of an angle like this. I'm doing a bit of everything here. There we go. That should be bringing this number... Oh, let's bring that number up. I am pointing the wrong way. All right, it is this way. I don't know why I find I get that backwards all the time. I'm looking at this number here, which is telling me the KSC is going to be south of us, and we're now bringing that number down, which is the point. So we won't be 6 kilometers from the KSC, and by the time we're there, we should be fine. That'll give us even a little bit of time warping. You think the red circle is actually the target? That could be right. That actually makes some sense. But it's, I don't know. Now I can see it going up. Oh, that's because I'm coming. Yes, I need to come this way now. I'm coming significantly. Yeah, this is the way you got to pull. You got to, no, that's, I don't know. Whatever. I'm all of a sudden noticing I was coming significantly short, too. Because I was pitched too steeply. So I'm pitching downwards towards the horizon to drag out my glide. Of course, the fact that I'm going on an angle actually increases glide too, or decreases the glide. Okay, I'm gonna come this way now. We're pretty much, we're good. We're good. We're good. There we go. All good. There we are. Now we can actually start coming this way a bit. Excellent. Everything's good. I spend it. I look at these numbers up here. That's what I find helps me. With the goal of the north-south number being as close to 0 as I can, and the... I'm actually overshooting. I want to undershoot just a little bit. There we go. That went fairly effortlessly. And a quick save is a good idea. Always a good idea. I can show my impact marker using... I don't know if I can see it down there. It's telling me where I'm going to hit. It doesn't matter. I don't need it. Okay. Actually, coming a little to the south. Whoa, whoa, come back here. Overshooting a bit. There we go. Oh, I'm still time warping. That's why everything feels so jittery. It's like everything feels so jittery. It's still in time warp. Okay, we're pretty much stalling here, so I think I'm just gonna point and shoot, as it were. I think we can get rid of this. Get down there. I prefer to sort of undershoot a bit, though overshooting is actually safer because if you overshoot the runway, you just land in the water. We're good now. The thing with this plane, it's so small and fairly light. Like, I think its mass to lift ratio, if that's a number, is fairly low. So it stalls very quickly. You can even see now I'm pointing straight down, yet I'm still slowing down. We're subsonic. Alright. Someone's saying quick save? Sure, quick save. Always a good idea to quick save ahead of a landing. So that's when things go wrong. Then we're going to go into research and development, and we're going to spend some of this science that I've been collecting. I mean, I got... Where's the... Okay, maybe... There we go. 900 science plus whatever these folks are carrying. Oh, I have my little dot. I don't want that dot. That unnerves me. Okay. Gear. 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 Dang dong it. A little quickly. That slows you down pretty fast. Okay, a little bit of a flare up here at the end, and there we go. Well done, Michael. All right. And recover. Okay. I'm being asked about further near future mods. We'll see. Again, I want to keep the number of part mods that I install to a minimum. I don't want my vessels to stray too far from what you could just build in stock. Okay, so that's 210 science from the samples that they brought back. So that's okie dokie. So we're at 1,110 science. So into research and development we go. And I actually wrote down, let me get my whiteboard here, what I was looking at. As I scouted this all ahead of time, and I was thinking, like, there's some tempting ones to go for, like for instance nuclear power with its fission reaction, fission reactor. That is really tempting, but I'm not ready. That's going to be for a surface moon base. That is really tempting. And also down here, yeah, right here, short-term habitation, which has a greenhouse and a gravity ring. That is definitely something I want to work my way towards. But again, I kind of want to go for things that are a little bit more needed right now. So what I am looking at is, let's see here. We have advanced exploration with more scanning tools and stuff like that. The big ladder, like, I haven't unlocked the big ladder yet. Like, what's wrong with me? Some EVA propellant tools, some cargo containers. That's a nice one. And I'm looking at the one right after that as well, scanning tech, with more smart parts, but again, resource scanners, these valves, infrared telescope, well, we can fire that off. Scanning arms for, I want to build a rover and do some resource scanning with the scanning arm. There we go. That is good. And then what I'm also looking up here at composites, because what I really want in composites, I mean, there's lots of good little parts, but the Clampetron Senior, that's the thing I really do want. So we're gonna click on the Clampetron Senior right there, and I also have here, which one was I looking at? I think it was Field Science, maybe? Field Science I have written down. External command seat, a lot of good rover wheels, again more science. Still underwater, haven't done that yet, but might be fun to do. And storage, extra storage capacities, upgrade. Okay, so let's get that. That leaves me with only 50 science, so there we go. That is it. And this also adds a whole bunch of science experiments to crew compartments and other things as well. You can see them being added here. These are all coming from Kerbalism. I'm going to have to explore those at a later date. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves into the VAB. And what I want to do is just build a really nice, big docking hub to put on that asteroid so that taking advantage of the Clampetron seniors that I now have and so this is not going to be too complicated. I'm going to start off with actually just a probe body. That we're going to put a little cargo container around it. It's been a common thing for me to do. The small one just like that. Open that up. Put some reaction wheels in there too. Oh yeah, and yeah, we'll put in a scriptable control thing too. Reaction wheels, that's what I'm looking for. Put the big ones on here because, yeah, we'll put that in there. Put in some batteries. Electrical. Let's go with just these guys. You know what? One in there, and one here, and then one on top. That's fine. I don't care that it's glitching a little bit. A communitron for communication. This is just going to be a little teeny weeny itty bitty kind of tug. That's really all this is. That extends. Here I want it to extend without clipping into anything would be nice. Should be good. Will that retract back into the bay without an issue? Part. I'm missing it. Retract antenna. That looks good. Alrighty, and some solar panels to put around it. Like just some aux-sats. Really simple. And I'm going to put a docking port, just a regular one, on the top, one on the bottom. I'm just realizing as well what this thing needs is some monopropellant. Maybe if I organize this by fuel types, that's the one. Monopropellant. Do I really not have a simple, small that can't be all my monopropellant. Okay, that can't be right. I must have small monopropellant cans. Well, if I don't, I can make some. That's all I was looking for right there. Nope, it's not wide. Go away. Oh, I can't change the textures on that. And I'm just going to use RCS blocks. I haven't put a huge amount of thought. Where are the... Start with the bigger ones. Yeah, these guys. Like I said, all this is a... Oh my gosh, just get the solar panels out of there. Where's the center mass? Put these right around the center mass. Go with four-way symmetry. And then back on with these solar panels. So this is just like a little tug. I can open up RCS Fuel Aid, which is a nice little mod. And there it is, RCS Build Aid. Why is it giving me no information? Monopropellant. Oh, there it is. If I put it on forward, translation forward, it's actually giving me like A thrust of 4 kilo. Well, of course, it's. I thought I could get a thrust to weight ratio. It isn't, but it's giving me 1,200 meters. It should be fine. Again, it's not going anywhere. It's just a little push around thing. Okay, let's close this. Close that. Put that back on compact. And close this. There we go. And then on top of this, I'm going to put another docking port. This is going to be the hub proper now. Like that. And I'm going to put a structural bit. I'm looking at... So I'm going to arrange these by name because I'm this one. This is the regular Rocco Max one. And then on top of that is going to be our Clampetron Senior. If I actually get it. There it is. Like that. And then another Clampetron Senior. On like that. And then this will all make sense very, very shortly. This guy. And then this big old hub. So what I want here, okay, is this is going to be my docking hub. I'm going to put Clampetron Seniors all around this thing. This is going to be a little just pusher type of tug, whose whole job is to simply push it around. We're going to take this whole configuration once it's done up to my station in low orbit about Kerbin. Then we're going to bring up a crew. Docked at the station is my Kerbin system runabout, the Nerve 1, which will have more than enough Delta V to hook onto this thing, and we'll take our crew will take this out to the asteroid and we will attach it. That's the whole plan, okay? And this guy, again, isn't going to really take it anywhere. It's just here to sort of slug things about. That's it. To be honest, I think I have way more monoprop than I need. I might calm that down a little bit. But right now, what I want to do is... I can't put on any kind of symmetry on that. Oh, you're a pain. Okay. We're going to just surround this thing with... that way. Right? Always have to make sure these aren't on backwards. No, that's the right way around. And, you know, I'm going to change the textures on here. Yeah. Now I'm going for an industrial look all the way around here. Like that. One on that side. I really like, if I can actually rotate it the right way, these seniors for building stations because they are so rigid once it's all sort of put together. So this will be a really nice, rigid little base. And then finally, I want to hook this onto an asteroid. So what I want to do is I want to build myself a tower. So like that this thing will be a little bit of a distance away from the asteroid. Like this kind of a deal. You probably actually noticed this in the thumbnail, what my plan was. Right? So like this could be hooked to the asteroid, and then the station and other vessels can all dock off of this little hub here. That's the idea. Now the question came up to me, how do I end up hooking this onto the asteroid? And I actually played around with different options. My first thought was to use this guy, the Stamp O ground anchor. I wanted to put the ground anchor, attach that to the asteroid, and then connect to that directly, because that puts a node there for you to connect to. It doesn't work. I found out that this will only work on the surface of bodies. The Kerbal has to be standing on it. There has to be gravity. So that unfortunately doesn't work. You can use the EVA construction tools that are built into the game to attach things to the asteroid. That does work, but the problem is that the asteroid textures and the collision mesh are often not in the same place, and it doesn't quite look as nice as you would, at least what I would hope. So the simplest solution was simply using the part that was really designed for this, which was the wherever that grabber thing is. There it is, the advanced grabbing you. That's all we're just gonna put one of these on there. Okay, now we're going to dress this up a little bit. This is sort of dull right now. I think I do have a little bit of texturing to do. So we're going to put some lights on it. Oh, another thing I want to do is I want to have Kerbals be able to climb up and down this thing. So I'm going to put, I've always complained I don't put enough of these sort of ladder bits. So we're going to put some of this, a ladder bit, going right up the side here. So if I were in the mood and a Kerbal was in a climbing mood, they can pull themselves right along like that. Absolutely, why not? I also want to put some cargo containers on here. Now, what do I have for cargo containers now? Because I unlocked some new ones. Did I not? I did. So we got this. Let's actually look at this. We have this cargo container. That's one of my new ones. It has 9 inventory slots. Previous to that one, I only had this one, which has 3 inventory slots, and these guys, which have also 3 inventory slots. But that has 9. I'm thinking that might look okay. Why don't I just do that? Yeah, I'm just going to do that. We'll put one sort of cargo container at this end, and we'll put another cargo container at this end. I also have, just before I get too far carried away, I also have this one. Oh, this is a big one. How many slots does that hold? 24 slots. Oh my goodness. You know what? That's not stupid. I don't think that's stupid. I'm going to use it. How heavy is this part? 400 kilograms. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it right... Oh, shoot. That doesn't work. I'm going to put it right in here. I'll have more storage than I'll ever need, but I'm comfortable with that idea. Nice. Can't go wrong with more storage. That's a nice spot for it, I think. Okay, some lights. Some lights, some lights. Yes, we got Zikla. Zikla. Now, we're going to put some lights onto here. I'm thinking maybe at this height. I'm trying to picture this attached to an asteroid. I want like blinking red, but this will be the asteroid where the asteroid's attached. I want blinking red lights, you know, like a aerial tower thing would have, right? That's what I'm thinking about. So make those red and make them blink. And turn or make them gray so they blend a little bit better in there. That'll look okay. I might put on some more ladder bits. Okay, this piece might not like the ladder bits. Is there something it doesn't like about them? There. I think that looks okay. In a bit. And another one down here. More ladder bits. Rotate that a little bit. Bring that outwards. A little bit this way. There we go. Just a little bit. All right. Yeah, we're going to strut this all up. So thanks for what we're going to do. Because it can wobble a little bit. What I plan on doing, I'm going to open this up. And we're going to chuck in struts. Let's see. 1 strut. 2 strut. 3 strut. You know what? Let's keep going. 4 struts. 5, 6 struts. We're going to click these in. And the idea with this is to create and connect it straight to the asteroid. You can connect the struts to the asteroid. That will make it nice and stiff in its connection to the asteroid. I very, very much like that idea. Do I got enough? You know what? Some more struts. More struts. I got this up here. let's have 8 struts. I plan on using 4. That's twice as many than I need. Let's also throw in, let's start putting the rest of it. I'm putting these struts up here because this is where I'm going to need them. That's why I kept that cargo container. Let's put the rest of them down in this cargo container. 24 slots. Oh my gosh. What other junk? This is just random stuff I could want. What other? You never could go wrong with a cubic octagonal strut. A few of those never go. I mean, I'm going to take advantage of all of this cargo. I'm not going to fill all of it. There's just no way. What else might want? Let's look at the actual cargo section. We'll put in some repair kits. 4 repair kits. Why not? We'll put in lights. So that if I ever get there and it's like, you know what I need? I need more lights. These little spotlights are great. Let's put a bunch of those in there. Can I change? Oh, but you know, once you're out, you can't change the textures, I bet. Make them white. I like white. Gray is even better. Okay, there we go. And of course, some of these more spotlight type of deals. They come in white or black. We like white. And these kind too. Something funny. There we go. Anything else that could go? A cherry light. Can never go wrong. You know, we'll make a choice as to. Oh wait, will it not let me put that in the inventory for some reason? Haven't used this yet. I don't think it'll let me put it in there. Cherry light might be a little much. It won't let me throw it into the inventory. There's the look of it. Nah, you know what? We'll keep ourselves under some control. Fireworks. I think I'm doing pretty good. Back to cargo here. I have now these EVA kits. I don't think it hurts to have some extra for the crew. EVA propellant. Maybe just some extra packs. There we go. Let's keep it under some control. Oh, Alt key when moving. Yes, I got reminded of that last week, that if I want to move whole groups apart, if I click, that just removes one, but if I Alt click, that moves the whole group. So yes, do want to remember that. Okay, so this is really it. I'm thinking, the only thing I'm thinking about, honestly, is just how much monopropellant I have in here. Oh, the heck with it. We'll leave it. If there's more than I need, then that's what I need. But this is, it's not going to hurt anything to have more. Do I need more lights? Probably. Oh, I know what lights I would want. For sure. Is to take some of these, just these ones. And we're going to click and put maybe 4 to light up the, yeah, we can climb past that. That works okay. And we'll make them white. And then 4 more this way. To light up whatever station happens to be under it. Just notice they're clipping a little bit. Can't hurt with more lights. There we go. Okay, I'm thinking this is a thing. So what we've got is Yeah. Just got to get this to orbit. How much mass do we have here? 58 kilograms. Okay. Or sorry, I'm looking at the part count. About 7 tons. A little over 7 tons. I just realized something else I need to do. I need to open this. And find that KOS bit. Oh, it's hiding in there under here. Is put in a boot file and increase the disk space for my software. There we go. Close that. Okay. We need, okay, about 7 tons. Let's take a look at my booster collection that I have. This shouldn't be too tough to get 7 tons into orbit. What's this one like? This one can lift 8. See, some of these unfortunately might be a little bit goofy. I think I'm going to change my mind. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to build something a little more from scratch. Let's put a big old fairing on the bottom of this. How big do my fairing? I got a 2.5 meter fairing. I got to come around this thing clearly. Oh. A little higher. There we go. And now in. Yep. They're going to be a big fairing. Close this off. There we go. And we're going to put an upper stage sort of doer on here. It's going to carry it to the station. Now what I'm looking for, this fella. Now, how big an engine? Can I get away with a Terrier under that? It's not going to need, nope. Need more. Cheetah. That should be, yeah, even a little more than that. I might be going into the poodles. This has got a 355 vacuum ISP. The skiff. Come on. Why are you being this way? Well, that might be a nice one. 150, you know, 196 according to this up here. Put that way. There we go. That might actually be a little too much. Let's get back onto the cheetah. I think the cheetah should service as well. Fortunately, I don't have... Well, I can do that. That looks okay. Let's put a... one of... What am I looking at that guy? There we are. That should service that all right, I think. I think I need to put in some internal struts. Just to, I don't think this is too. We're going to add this to the staging group. And boom, boom, boom. I think so. Okay, struts. Actually, this fella, I'm just realizing as well, really should have its own... Here, let's put in a cargo bit. One of these. one of these. This is really so it can deorbit itself after when all this is done. Set us. I don't need a lot of reaction wheels, I don't think, so I'm going to go with these smaller ones wherever they're hiding. There we are. Some batteries. Just going to go with these. And actually, I'm going to open up this one. I know I'm getting myself way too much involved, but I'm going to take this out, this out, this goes back, this goes here. That's what's going to need my KOS probe core. That should be good. Now that, good, good, good. It's been a little while since I built something from scratch here. There we are. All right. This is the what are we gonna call this? What am I gonna call this? It's OH. Okay, I'm gonna call this for now, just because that's the name of the asteroid. OHC Station Docking Hub is what this is. All right. Let's see. What mass am I up to right now? I'm up to about 15.5 tons. Let's get back in to see if I can take advantage of a booster I already got. But I got like a lot of 1,000 meters of delta V, 1,000 meters per second of delta V just in this stage. So I don't need to add a huge amount more, but I'm looking at, this might look funny. What does this look like when it's, oh my God, what a dopey thing. This might be a better deal. This is the booster I've used. I'm just going to do some... let's take this right off. Should have put this on in the first place. This looks like a... Ooh, this is really close. Just this alone. And it doesn't look unbelievably stupid. Which I like. I always like not looking unbelievably stupid. I'm wondering if I can get rid of... Sorry. Delete the fairing. Take this off. Take this off. I used a bigger... Oh, I see what the issue is. Okay. There is... Oh, no. Okay. Undo, 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 undo. I'm going to bring that fairing back. Goes back. This is really close to doing it. And I kind of like it because it's simple. Fairing isn't staged. That's exactly right. This is the booster that takes up my little space plane. But I rather like it. It feels... oh, no, it's on Atmo, that's why. I don't know, I think it's pretty darn close to being able to do it. Just that. Since we're all orange, boop. Let's see here. Clamshell deploy, lots of sides, and up the force there a bit. Looking at action groups, this fairing needs to be on action group 5. Action group 0 needs to be just to deploy some junk. I dare say that's going to want to flip in the air. Why? Because there's a ginormous fairing on the top? I don't know why you would say such a thing. But you very likely might be right. Well, the old one used to have a ginormous fairing on the top, too. It's worth a try. I'm getting a good look at that fairing now. I could put on just an army of little tail fins down here at the bottom. I don't know. It's worth a try. I think it's worth a try. I think this might work. We'll run a simulation. How about that? Okay, let's go through our checklist, though. I do have this checklist. There's no contract requirements, so it doesn't matter. Control I've taken care of. KOS I've taken care of. Configured the probe. That's a good plan. This is why I have my little list. Because this probe will want to do some science. Oh, I can't even reach it. Come on. It's underneath the docking port there. There we are. Configure the probe. Configure unmanned experiments. We're not going to do any. That does save a little bit of weight and a little bit of cost. Uh-oh. What did I do? I clicked on something bad. There. Okay. And there's a second probe body already in here too. I should open this up. This probe body also doesn't want to do any science. That. And again, for some reason, this came apart. Okay, probes are configured. Science isn't being done. Power generation, it has the little solar panels. That's all it needs. Electrical storage is fine. Antenna strength is fine. Antenna speed, data storage, all that stuff's irrelevant. Propulsion I've taken care of. RCS I've taken care of. Parachutes doesn't need. Thermal protection doesn't need. We put on some lights. Upgrade anything? No, I'm not gonna. I don't see why. TDOR should be fine. Fairing deploy should be fine. Staging should be fine. I think I'm ready to give this a test. I think I'm ready to give this a test. So what we're gonna do, and if it flips, it flips. It might flip. We're gonna save this. We're going to use our KRASH simulator. I haven't used the KRASH simulator in some time. And we're going to simulate a launch. Uh-oh. Unless you plan all the way to the moon. No. This thing isn't going to the moon by itself. I'm getting a comment from Chris, and I understand where it's coming from. All this thing needs to do is get itself to my station in low orbit about Kerbin. That's it. We have another vessel and a whole crew and everything that's going to take care of taking this thing to the moon. My goodness, this thing is orange. But let's see what happens. Let's run our launch script. We're going into the station's in 120 kilometer orbit. Oh wait, 0 inclination, 120 kilometer orbit, normal orientation. Let's go. This sim is costing me money. You can see the ticker going up here. About 1,700 Kerb bucks thus far. And step 1, good. And oh, we are wobbly. We be so wobbly. We are wobbly. We're wobbles. I think we got to do some. Oh, it aborted. Okay, so we're going to terminate the simulation. The script was saying, I don't like what's going on here. We're going to abort. So revert to the vehicle assembly building. Some auto strutting should take care of this, I think. That little bit of wobble. I think this bit's all okay. I think I just need to... I think it's here. Let's just grab some bits here. And go auto strut. Auto strut. Auto strut. I wish KSP rockets really were not quite so janky, for lack of a better word, in that wobble department. I mean, it could potentially be happening up here. Oh, we do have this little joint here between these two docking ports. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of stuff that could be wobbling up here. Let's see what this is like. Let's see what this is like. See if this is any better. So again, crash simulator time. The crash simulator is coming from a mod called Crash Simulator with a K. So yeah, you would need to be able to install mods to use it. I really like it. It just kind of cleanly separates when you are, you know, flying for real and having to suck up whatever happens, and when you are in sort of this testing mode, and it forces you not to abuse it by charging you for it. Okay, run, launch, 120. I keep doing that. Inclination comes first. 0, 120, and go. Okay, we're really going to watch the wobble this time. See if it's a little stiffer. I am seeing some predicted flip outs, but the wobble's gone, it looks to me. So it was all around this kind of joint in here, I think, where the wobbling was happening. All right. So now it's looking good. And it is really, if you look at the pitch controls, it is like dead centered. Hardly doing any having to pull. It's really just kind of following its natural path. Okay. I didn't check what our upper stage TWR was at. That's pretty low. That might be an issue. I might have too wimpy of a rocket motor. That cheetah might be an issue. I'm just noticing that. We'll see. We'll find out pretty soon. Hopefully I won't have to swap out the cheetah. So it just cut down throttle. But that's because it's on this. And the more it can get out of this mainsail engine, the better. Before it goes on to the much weaker Cheetah engine. KSP2 is still scheduled for 2022. Hopefully that is going to remain. That's going to be out when it comes out. I've stopped sort of waiting for it, but it would be nice to see it. It'd be nice to see it done well rather than it being done quickly. But I'm seeing in the chat comments about KSP2. Okay, we are about to lose a booster. And we're also about to lose a fairing. I think we're going to lose this booster first. If I'm not mistaken. Yep. And there we go. We're on the Cheetah now. And then we're going to lose a fairing. Oh, I think the Cheetah's going to be fine. The script didn't even put it at full thrust. So that's good. Nice fairing deploy. Very happy with that. The unfortunate thing with the Cheetah comes from the Making History, I think, expansion pack, the DLC. And unfortunately, the mods that put on the Just the Plumes and stuff don't seem to like it. But it is a handy little in-between engine. You know, an in-between engine between the Terrier and the Poodle. And it's certainly serving a good purpose right now. I am very happy with how this is working out. Very happy indeed. I do like the extra textures that Restock puts on these docking port seniors with these sort of internal clamps and stuff. It also makes both sides of the docking port senior look very different from each other. I find with the stock texture on these, they're very easy to put on upside down. I'm not sure if other people have that problem like I do, but I certainly do. Okay, so we are just about in space. And we're going to look at whether this thing had... Okay, so we've just entered space. There is only a 100 meter per second, 99 meter per second burn left. This thing still has 459 meters per second left, so it'll have no trouble getting itself to the station. So what we're going to do is we're going to abort this script. And we're going to revert our flight. We're going to terminate our simulation. We're going to launch this thing for real. Yeah, we're still a simulation, but now we're going to do this for real. And yeah, it cost me 4,000 Kerb bucks for that simulation or so. I guess 6 or 7 really if you add in the one that went before this. But this rocket cost 56,000, so it's better than losing a rocket. Okay, everything went good, so I'm going to just save this. I feel like I'm... No, let's just launch. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is ready. This is it. This is the real deal. It's going to be a multi-stage process to get this thing to the moon, unfortunately. You like the little reminder, Chris? Yes, a very kind viewer wrote a little mod for me after making the mistake a few times live of thinking I'm in a simulation and actually blowing something up, and then so the little reminder, this is, you sure, Mike, this isn't a simulation? It's very much appreciated. Okay, we are going to the WKMSS right there, and oh, it is just about over our orbit. Oh, that waypoint, I meant to mention it. That waypoint's actually for a training course. Probably get to that next week to give our Kerbals some experience, but I don't know why it's showing up. It shouldn't be showing up. Whatever. We're seeing it. Anyway, station's just about overhead. So we're gonna just time warp it here. Gonna get a little bit ahead of us. Okay. On again our launch script. This time we're gonna go into an 80-kilometer orbit. We're gonna be behind it in a lower orbit, so we'll catch up to it. That will facilitate our rendezvous. Okay, doke. So unfortunately, this does mean we're watching this again. But, barring anything catastrophic, this should be it. I was just checking the ignitions on the mainsail. Notice 0 ignitions left. This is an engine that is meant to be ignited once, turned off, and then not used again. If you plan on using it again, you'd best upgrade it. Kind of looks bulky though, I'm getting in the comments. And it's very, very orange. I do agree it is a little bit, a tad on the orange side. Bulky, do you mean the rocket itself or the whole docking hub? I kind of was going for bulky with the docking hub. I wanted it to look kind of industrial. That was the plan. The rocket itself, yeah, the fairing's a little bit, I mean, the fairing is what the fairing is. What are you gonna do? It flies. It can be none more orange. It's as orange can be. Okay, where are we at? Again, cut throttle here. Always nice to cut throttle, keep that apoapsis from getting too far ahead of us. Right now the apoapsis is about a minute ahead of us and holding. And it's nice to kind of do that so that as this thing pitches towards the horizontal, it's putting a lot of energy into raising that periapsis now. It makes that final insertion burn at the end a lot cheaper. For those people that don't know, why is it cutting throttle? Well, thank you, Sleeping Dog. Says my channel is very helpful. Thank you. I do have, and maybe people can mention if they think this is a good idea in the chat or in the comments at the bottom of this video. I do have in my head an idea for redoing a tutorial series. There goes that. Because a lot of those tutorial videos are getting pretty old. They are by far my most popular videos of the tutorial videos, especially the earlier ones. And I'm thinking of kind of redoing it and centering it around doing a career mode and just going contract by contract. So starting with just doing one contract per video in the kind of logical order in which you would encounter them doing a career mode, but turn them into tutorials about the ideas that are required in order to play Kerbal Space Program. Sort of just a different structure. But I was thinking of doing more tutorial videos and structuring it in that way just to make them a little different from my older tutorial videos. And people can let me know what they think, if that's a good idea, if that's a bad idea. For now, I'm doing this idea. I do like all these girders. I think the girders are a little heavy for this game, to be honest. But I do like them. Okay. We are now drifting up towards... How many ignitions are on this guy? I should be 12. That should be fine. All right. Where are we at here? Still got a little over a minute to the burn. Okay. Everything here looks good. I'm looking at stuff that's deployed. I think it all looks good back there. I tell you, I'm looking forward to using these big docking ports for station bits. All right, about to do the final insertion. 2, 1, and go. Oh yes, Alan saying never knew it. This game doesn't do the best job of teaching you about flying rockets and how they work, and certainly watching sort of common space movies doesn't teach you anything either about how rockets really work. There we go, that's all done. So yeah, now knowing how Delta V works, big deal. Oh, I like this thing. I really do. Okay, let's get ourselves to the station. So, actually, let's also just turn everything else off. Maneuver here. Get over there. Center it on here. Oh, I lost that one. Oh, I moved something. Why is it sometimes these things so hard to just click on? That's why. There we go. That's all I wanted to do. Was that so hard? There we go. Yeah, I put in some normal by mistake there when I was dragging it. Okay, back onto the maneuver. A little bit off. I think sometimes I do probably get a little too picky when it comes to dialing this in, but I don't know. Oops, a little more retrograde. Boarding time. Ah, 300 meter separation. That's good. Okay, so that burn is coming up in 15 minutes. We're going to turn down the thrust here a little bit to make the burn a little longer. We're going to do a quick save, and we're going to get ourselves to the burn. Oh, I'm seeing warnings about relays running low on batteries. I have so many old relays, and it's definitely something I'm going to have to address around the moon, is improving the relay network, but that is clearly going to be also for another day. Now I want to get this big junky thing up. So this is going to be a 31 meter per second burn just to get out to the station. Close that off. Keep it locked on prograde. We've got right now about 550 meter separation, but what we'll do is give some puffs of RCS. Ooh, 122 meter separation. That'll be good. We're going to be there in 16 minutes. We can get this docking done quickly so we can get our Kerbals up there. Okay, switch this over to target. Retrograde, and the station should be behind us. There it is. It was great. We're doing the whole thing just on this little guy. Alright, just come into the render distance. Time to start slowing down. Okay. Time warp ourselves a little closer. I set my coming right at it. That works out really nice. About 38 seconds away. I just want to get my speed down, and then we're going to end up having to use... We're going to have to do some goofying, because you can see... Right here, let's stop this and I'll talk. Get it down to about... Here, under a meter per second. That's good. Because you can see, I can't attach this to the station the way it is. I mean, these are lots of docking ports, but there are no 1.25 meter, 2.5 meter docking ports on the station. This has got an engine on this end. I could attach by the claw, but I don't like doing that. I find that goofy. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to now undock this. Boom. We're going to go to our little probe. That's the station. Our little probe here. We're going to get rid of this completely. Your job is complete. I'll lock you onto the retrograde vector. It's missing the station. That's good. Okay. Your job is done. Just want to get its periapsis down nice and low so I don't have to worry about it no more. There we go. Back to here. All right, and now it's up to this guy. We're going to control from here. Oh, I just realized that antenna's in a bad spot, but well, hopefully that won't be a problem. And we're going to go towards the station this way. Using RCS right here. Hopefully that... Whoa, 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 I can see I'm going really fast. Slow down. Wow, there's a lot of thrust in those RCS ports. I was worried okay. I was worried I actually had... I'm just deciding where to put this thing too. What docking port would be a good docking port for it? I was worried it didn't have enough thrust. It has way too much. I'm going to put it on here, right here. Because I'm thinking a space plane has to come up here. I don't want to... It actually looks pretty good. Okay, let's... I'm going to slow down. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong way. Line up those docking ports. The stations, they're looking at this going, is this whole docking hub for me? And you're like, no, sorry, it's not. You're just a waypoint. You're just a place to hang out for now. Aim the camera up here at the front. There we go. Oh, I can tell I need to back up. Oops, I hit M instead of N. And I'm also going just way too fast. Oh, wow. I could have turned down the thrust on these guys. Something I never checked. Am I going closer to it? Doesn't feel like I'm going closer to it. This way. There's not much balance to where the I put the RCS blocks at the center of mass of this little tug. I don't even know what I was thinking. I should have put them as far this way as I could, because of course got a ton of mass up here. I don't know what I was thinking of with that, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Doesn't have to do too much. Okay, now we're going the right way. You know what? Let's retract this antenna. We don't need it. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I have a good reason why it was there. I know why I put it on there. We don't need it right now. So we're close, and it looks like it might be in the way. Okay. Coming in sideways. Okay, so I can see now my target icon here. I can see my retrograde icon here. But because this is all in a line, I know I'm going the right way. I'm just coming really fast. Oh, that way. Slow down. It'll work. And I'll re-explain my plan once this is docked here. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. So, to re-explain my plan, again, this whole business is going to an asteroid in orbit about the moon. This is going to be the vehicle to take it there. It should easily have the delta V, so we're just going to hook these two together and we're going to push it on out there. The issue is that we got no crew. So we need to get ourselves some crew. And what I want to do, though, before I do that is just toggle off the reaction wheels here. Just so we don't have reaction wheels fighting with each other. Always a good idea with a station. But yeah, this is ready. Okay, let's go. Let's get back down to the Space Center. And we're going to get up some Kerbals. I'm not convinced we're getting to the moon. I'm looking at the time of the stream. Maybe it was a smidge ambitious with what I thought I could get done. As per usual, the build probably took a little longer than I thought it would. That's not abnormal. All right. Are we still in the daytime? We are. So we're going to go into the spaceplane hangar. Not the VAB. And we're going to get rid of our checklist. We're going to bring out our Dart 2-W2 single stage to orbit space plane right here, capable of taking up 6 crew. And 6 crew is what it's going to take up. I just want to make sure inventories are all empty, that we're not taking up stuff that are unnecessary. Nope, this should be ready to go. And we got to pick ourselves a crew. So, I want to pick people that have never been... Jeb has only ever flown by the moon. That is shocking. How about Bill? Bill is planting a flag on the moon, so Bill, sorry, you are out. Jebediah, wow, you're gonna get some experience, because eventually we want to get some people. Who else do we got? Valentina has gone in an orbit about the moon. Engineer, come on, I need an engineer. Michael O. Kerman has orbited the moon. Steven, has he orbited the moon? Let's close this. It was in the way. Has orbited... Sorry. See that again? Orbited the moon. Joe? Why aren't you not wanting to give me there? Has orbited... Oh boy, I have engineers that have orbited the moon. That's it. Alright, I guess for our engineer then... Oh, we'll take Bill. All of them have orbited the moon, and this mission is just going to be to orbit the moon and return, so we'll do that. We're going to need a scientist. So again, first scientist who has not orbited the moon is going to win. And it is John N. Kerman. John is going to be coming along with us, and I do have a contract, as the case might be, to... Well, I got two... Here, we're going to get rid of this one. One is to crew a base or station. That's just to get at least one Kerbal up to the WKMSS, which is what this is supposed to do. So I saw that and went, well, that's going to be easy. And the other one is to take a bunch of tourists. We got ourselves Diggin. We got ourselves Esther. And we got ourselves Fred Brett. and they want to visit an asteroid. And as luck would have it, that is what we're on our way to do. So this should be it. So let's just save and launch and go. Yep. Also turn off auto strut. Thank you, John. What I might just do... Here, I'll let the black screen go away, and then I'll explain a couple of things to think about with this plane. It'll load eventually. There we go. Okay, put the brakes on. Oh, we don't need this, but this thing does have a lot of auto strutting that was done to it because the planes kind of flop, the wings especially kind of flop about if you don't have the auto strutting on. But auto strutting has created some crackeny fun up there at the station, so I think I'll keep the auto strutting on for now, and then take the auto strut off once I'm up at the station. I think that might be the best plan. And also, people may recall, put this on free, that the last time I flew this, it's been a few streams since I last flew this, I didn't make orbit because I spent too much time talking and not enough time thinking, and I've practiced a couple of times since then. So hopefully this will go a little bit better. But anyway, SAS is on, throttle is up, take the brakes off, punch it. Oh wait, no, 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 cut, 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 silly. Brakes, brakes. We gotta go to our space station. Sorry, 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 we can stop. We're all good. We are going to a space station, silly Gonzalez. What the heck? Okay. So, let's get the space station over us. We got a rendezvous to perform. What was I even thinking about? Can't just take off whenever you want. Alright. Matt should be good right about there. Station will be going faster than us, but it takes longer for this to get to orbit than it does a rocket, so I think this should all be good. Let's just punch it again. Z. There we go. Let's try this again. And when it gets over 70, it should be lifting off. There we go. We're off. Okay, gear up. Let's just go. And the mistake I got into, I got going too fast, too low in the atmosphere last time, not paying attention to really what I was doing. So I got to be a little bit more cognizant of that. I realized after watching the stream the last time I flew this, is I actually started going back down when I turned on my rocket engines, which is clearly not... I pitched down so much I was actually losing altitude, which clearly is not a good plan. I'm actually not too far. If I wanted to, I could. I'm for 1,000 meters per second, or 1,000 science points. I could get the Rapier engines, which makes building these things a lot easier. This is still built around the Whiplash and then the toroidal rocket engines. Actually, if you take a look at the toroidal engines, I offset them a little bit because they weren't lined up with the center of mass. So they actually are a little more efficient now that they are better lined up with the center of mass, even though they might look a teeny bit funny. But it's this piece up here that's bringing the center of mass. Well, I don't know. Alright, how are we doing here? Let's pitch down a little bit. I want to just watch my speed. I want to keep that speed up. But I really do want to get up to the higher atmosphere because these engines and these intakes are built for efficiency in the higher atmosphere. So getting it up in around maybe 7-8 kilometers before you really start building up the speed. And keep it on 9 degrees. Starting to really start picking up that speed soon now. Now they're up, getting close to about 8 kilometers. Where's that speed? A little bit more. There it goes. Trying to minimize also the amount of fiddling about I'm doing. The more fiddling you do, each little adjustment is actually an inefficiency, so I want to minimize that too. Here we go. And it has been suggested I write a launch script for doing this. That would be neat. I'm not quite sure. It clearly would be a more complicated thing than for a rocket, so I haven't really wrapped my head around that too much just yet. Get up higher than this though. It's nice to be in around 18 kilometers or so when you switch over to rocket mode. At least that's what I found fiddling around with this thing. I am by no means an SSTO expert. Let's get some speed. Speed, speed, speed. More speed. Right. Switching over to rocket mode and pitching this up. And I found playing around with this, I need to get up higher a little bit more quickly. So I'm just pitching it right up and getting out of this. I want to get up really high in the atmosphere. I'm just going to hold it like this. This could use an extra set of reaction wheels. The only reaction wheels are actually in the cockpit, so... Oh, there. That's nice right there. We'll hold that. Actually, even start reducing thrust now that I'm seeing my timed apoapsis is about a minute ahead. Switch these around. I don't think I need to, but it bugs me though when they're the other way. So again, just keeping this time to apoapsis about a minute ahead of me. So I'm reducing thrust. I'm also very slowly making my way down towards the prograde vector. I'm closer to prograde as we get into the thinner parts of the atmosphere. In fact, I think I can now just lock it onto prograde. I think it'll be fine. There we go. So I think my problem before, getting too fast, too low. I think now I doing much better. Yeah. Okay, let's start un-auto strutting. That might not be a bad plan while this thing is... Well, maybe I shouldn't do too much at the same time. Let's just wait till I reach my desired apoapsis and cut my engines. Okay, that one's undone. Heart. Auto strut disabled. Okay, just about there. 77, 78, 79, 80 kilometers. Okay, we're just going to leave that. So I'm just going to go through here and looking for auto struts. That one's already disabled. How about the strake that's... I think I mostly did it to the wings. That one, no. How about here? Undo that. So definitely having some issues with auto strutting. I remember back before auto strutting was a thing in KSP, what players used to do, like back before it became a feature, is they used to take just regular struts and kind of hide them in there, like get inside it. Maybe that's the thing to do to avoid that bug. I don't know. Because regular struts don't seem to have the issue. Auto strutting does. Okay. Okay. Where are we here? Let's open up KOS again. And switch over to the vessel. And run my X-Man script. Oh wait, nope. Run circ at apoapsis. Just gonna get it to take care of and then run the X-Man script. Okay. And now it's gonna take care of the whole circularization business. And I'm gonna keep taking off the auto struts. That's what I'm gonna do. There. There. Oh, what about in here? There's a piece in here. At the back. That must be the end of the auto strutting. Has to be. I think so. Okay. And one day I'll figure out what the auto strutting glitch is all about. I've heard different people saying different things. Meanwhile, this thing has only got 86 meters per second to complete its circularization. And we'll get it out to the station. It is going to do it, right? Oh, yes, it doesn't give... It's funny, my launch script gives a 30-second warning to when it's about to do the final insertion, but the X-Man script only gives a, I think, 5-second warning. So I was like going, where's my 30-second warning? But I don't think I should be getting it. Here it is. I got 3-second warning. There we go. Okay. Nicey nice. Get ourselves to that station. that. So 500 meters separation there. I think that should be fine. And that burn is coming up in 27 minutes. Most of the way around the planet. I'm going to limit the throttle here. Let's try 30%. I think I got to do this one. Yep. That makes it a 5-second burn. That's much better. Okay. Quick save. Let's get over there. So I'm going to roll it this way. It's for the solar panels. Okay. Hello, Dennis, and welcome. All right, we're going to get this thing docked. Then I guess our trip to the moon is going to have to wait until next week, looking at the time on the stream. This all, as per usual, took me a little longer than I thought. Jebediah, my level 3 pilot, can lock onto the maneuver node. Aren't you a rock star, Jebediah? We all knew that ahead of time, though. We all knew that. Walk that off. Okay, we got about 650 meter separation. Let's see if RCS can clear that up a little bit. Oh, got it just about 519. That's good. Okay, we're going to be there in 13 minutes and 40 seconds. And retrograde, and where are you? Always they come up behind you. Somewhere. Oh, there we go. That's where you are. Try and see if we can shrink this distance down a bit. Funny, my always do get questions like rendezvousing. It's funny because like I can't even guess how many rendezvous I have done over the course of playing this game. So I know it makes it look like I kind of make it look easy, and I'm like kind of appalled. But for getting started, a rendezvous is such a counterintuitive thing to do. It feels so intuitive to just simply point at where you're going. Like I'm only about 2 kilometers away. And just kind of go there. And that actually eventually makes you go further away from the station as you end up adjusting your orbit. And that is such a counterintuitive thing that I get why it takes a little bit for people to get the feel for rendezvousing. I'm just going to turn around this way. I don't know why, but the plane should be right side up. There we go. Still got quite a bit of velocity, 31 meters per second, so we should probably look at shedding some of that away. We gotta find a spot to squeeze this thing in. It's got a popular place up here at the station. Time warp, get ourselves closer. Probably start thinking about what docking port we want here. Actually, I think there's one pointing right at us, if I'm not mistaken. But one thing at a time. Slow down again. A little bit more. Yeah, I see a docking port right here. Can I click on you? You're not going to let me click on you, are you? No, you're not. You're just mean. Okay, let's slow right down and then we'll get in there. Get it under 1 meter per second here. That feels good. Okay, let's get over there. We got this docking port, I think is the one I want. I'm not mistaken. Yep, there we are. Back to here. Set that as a target. Open up our docking bay. That was the wrong button. I just detached the solar panel. That might not be a bad thing, actually. Control from here. And get this ready for some docking. And get this off, ready to toggle that torque too. This is nice when you're coming straight at the docking port that you want. It makes life a lot easier. Just closing a lot of these little triangle things. I just want to get ready to toggle the torque. Okay, here we go. Oh, and I still got that on there. All right, where are we at? Coming in. Time warp. Again, don't speed up. Speed up time instead. Things are going too slow. Anything, I can slow down now a little bit. Coming in a little quick. There we go. Boy, I got a lot of bright lights. Everything's getting washed out. Yep. Roy says he's just in time for the docking. Yeah. We are coming in here. We're lined up pretty much right on it. Well, that was a much more successful mission with my space plane. Got up here, still got just under 200 meters per second left in it, so it's doing what it's designed to do. Bringing up a stack of Kerbals. And oh, we're off a bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, now it's up. Oh, okay. Let's wait. Cockpit control, toggle that torque. I'm like, I know it's just me, but I wish this was turned 180 degrees with cockpit pointing north. I didn't notice that coming in, but I guess that's a trivial thing to have to worry about. But there we go. We are all here. So what we need to do is we need to pile everybody into this spacecraft here. We need to make sure it's all fueled up, but that's okay because we got fuel in this reserve over here. Then we're going to hook on to our docking module. We're going to take that out to that asteroid. And who knows what else we're going to be doing, but that's all going to have to be for next week. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody watching this at a later date. And of course, as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. You're the ones that really do keep this channel going. But in the meantime, everybody have yourself a fantastic week, and we will see you back here next Monday. Bye, everybody.